For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe. Our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Imagine a prime minister has to address the nation and on the subject of a distressing issue to confront. Also, a government minister says that Prime Minister Philip J. is arguably the best prime minister in the Caribbean, and a revelation that Stephenson King and Richard Frederick will form the slate of the SLP to contest the island's next general election. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, NewsSpin, on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. We go up until about 2 o'clock this afternoon, and you'll be part of the conversation at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026, and Amanda will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. So the big news in St. Lucia, we have organized crime. And the quote-unquote revelation was made by the minister with responsibility for crime prevention, and that's the missing in action, Mr. Jeremiah Norbert. Is that a revelation, really and truly? Because long before Jeremiah Norbert came on the scene, how long ago? 10 years ago, another politician quoted investigators into alleged extrajudicial killings in St. Lucia. You've heard about the impacts report. And that chilling address to the nation by then Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony on the evening of March the 8th, 2015, a little over 10 years ago. certain revelations were made, and according to the then Prime Minister, recommendations were also presented. But what was done with those recommendations? And a decade later, we're discussing this about the same things which would have plagued us at that time. That means a lack of progress in our country. It also means that we know the source of our problems. We know the genesis, we know the source of the problems, and we have an idea of who are some of the individuals who are propelling this particular situation to the extent it has reached a point of probably beyond control. But there's always something that we can do about any situation as long as there is the political will. And governments have in this country of burying their heads in the sand. And some are hoping miraculously the problems that they have identified, they make pronouncements on, will certainly or suddenly disappear. So let us hear the minister with responsibility for crime prevention. When it matters most, you will not hear from him, but every now and then he pops in and out, in and out. And that is Jeremiah Norbert. And speaking during the pre-cabinet briefing this week, said that we have organized crime in St. Lucia, and the government will do all that is possible to get to the bottom of that problem. Here is the minister.
I can tell you that we have credible information, and we are going to be dealing with it. We are going to do everything within our power to dismantle, because there's a lot of what we've realized now is a situation where we have organized crime. Organized crime where we have people from different stratas of society involved in it. And it has become a network that we must dismantle. By any means necessary, we must dismantle it. I can tell you that we have credible information, and we are going to be dealing with it. We are going to do everything within our power to dismantle, because there's a lot of what we've realized now is a situation where we have organized crime. Organized crime where we have people from different stratas of society involved in it. And it has become a network that we must dismantle. By any means necessary, we must dismantle it.
That's not any revelation. Okay, I just was playing around early on when I told you about a revelation. Because the revelation was made a decade ago by then Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony. And this minister says we have credible information and we have to do everything possible to dismantle it. On the course that we're going right now, nothing will be dismantled, particularly with all the focus of this administration being on protecting the victory and being re-elected, and as a result, keeping their eyes on the prize. I mean, so late into your administration, you have a national security minister, you have a home affairs minister, you have a crime prevention minister. All of a sudden, you know, you have had an epiphany that we have organized crime in St. Lucia. Maybe you did not read the impacts report. And I remember this Sunday very well, March the 8th of 2015, when Dr. Kenny Anthony as Prime Minister addressed the nation. And as I was saying yesterday, in the build-up to an address to the nation by most Prime Ministers, Kenny Anthony, Stephenson King, Sir John Compton, you knew that they would be introducing to you something that was worth your while and in some cases earth-shattering. Can't recall any Prime Minister addressing the nation on increasing salaries and whatever benefits that were due to public sector workers. Never have I ever experienced this in St. Lucia. Always something fascinating, something interesting, some revelation. So Dr. Kenny Anthony addressed the nation March the 8th of 2015. And the title of that address, A Distressing Issue to Confront. And some of the things that he addressed. He said, in all the years that I've had the honor to serve you as Prime Minister, the issues on which I'm about to address you have been among the most challenging and difficult. This is so for three reasons. Firstly, they call for extremely tough, courageous, but necessary decisions. Second, the matters in question have tarnished the reputation of our country and brought considerable dishonor to our police force. Thirdly, the issues touch a raw nerve, our battle against crime, violence, and lawlessness in our midst. It is therefore ironic that I am addressing you on this subject at this juncture, when, for the first time in more than a decade, we have not had a homicide in January or February. So nothing new about having organized crime in St. Lucia. But this is the court, which is definitely unforgettable. One that was made during that March 8th of 2015 address to the nation.
Revealingly, the report suggests that, quote, the crime problem in St. Lucia is facilitated by corrupt politicians, government officials, business persons, and police officers, unquote. Revealingly, the report suggests that, quote, the crime problem in St. Lucia is facilitated by corrupt politicians, government officials, business persons, and police officers, unquote.
Former Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony. Once again, findings of investigations. The crime problem is facilitated by corrupt politicians, government officials, business persons, and police officers. What a mix. And that's where we have to discuss this thing about organized crime. If, according to Dr. Kenny Anthony and that report, the impacts report, if that's true, if we're going to give credence to it, that is a poisonous mix. Corrupt politicians, government officials, business persons, and police officers coalescing, joining in facilitating crime on the island. This is scary. And we have to ask of that report, on the basis of that claim or allegation, whatever you want to call it, what was done to dismantle this? What was done by Dr. Kenny Anthony and also by the United Workers' Party administration that got into office, and now by the St. Lucia Labour Party to deal with this scary scenario? The possibility, according to the findings of that impacts report, that what we're experiencing right now in St. Lucia, what we have experienced before, in terms of the worsening crime problem, that is not something that is occurring, and it involves primarily the run-of-the-mill, ordinary criminal and individual who's just out there to disrupt life on the island. It is more organized. It is more entrenched. It involves corrupt politicians. It involves business people, and it involves police officers. And that report is somewhere gathering dust. Would have paid a pretty penny. But what do we have to show for the contents and implementation? Talk about Caricom and implementation deficit. We experience the same thing in St. Lucia. But just some to this. When you hear a crime prevention minister, presenting to you information as if it was something that was novel, something that we have not heard before, that we have organized crime in St. Lucia, and everything will be done to dismantle it. Nothing will be done to arrest this problem anytime soon, because it is not being treated as an emergency. The priority is ensuring the St. Lucia Labour Party wins the next general election. Talking about the SLP winning the next general election. During a Tuesday evening, we heard from the President of St. Lucia and the political leader, Mr. Philip J. Pierre. And I don't know if he realized what he did, but he made a revelation. And that revelation is Mr. Richard Frederick, the current Castries Central MP, and Mr. Stevenson King, the current MP for Castries North, will be part of his slate of candidates. Now, it does me pronouncing that it's right or it's wrong or it's a politically good move. That's not what I'm suggesting. I thought that close to the election, that is, the Prime Minister, political leader of the SLP, would have said that he has decided to include those two quote-unquote independent MPs to be part of the slate of candidates. But he has done this very, very early. So we know that Richard Frederick and Stevenson King are the two candidates contesting, along with other St. Lucia Labour Party candidates, the other 15. Also, Mr. Pierre said, and that's not the first time, it's not a revelation this time around, that they're looking forward to winning all 17 seats. Let's listen to Mr. Pierre.
So when the time comes, and we name our 17 candidates, you will see what a of commitment, you'll see what a team of experience, and we will join hands with the former Prime Minister, the Honorable Stevenson King, and we'll join hands with the Parliamentary representative for Castries Central, and together we will win all 17 seats at the next election. So when the time comes, and we name our 17 candidates, you will see what a team of commitment, you'll see what a team of experience, and we will join hands with the former Prime Minister, the Honorable Stevenson King, and we'll join hands with the Parliamentary representative for Castries Central, and together we will win all 17 seats at the next election.
Prime Minister of St. Lucia and the political leader of the governing SLP, Mr. Philip J. Pierre, speaking last evening during his party's town hall Tuesday. Again, opining. And for some people, it is wrong to have an opinion on something in this country. Call you stupid, call you short, all kind of maybe. But that will not prevent me from speaking on the issues on the island. It will not cause me to shirk from my responsibility or cause me to become a shrinking violet. I do not believe that any political party going forward should be allowed to win all 17 seats. And that's been speaking to the electorate. All 17 seats in St. Lucia. This is very dangerous. And we have seen the behavior of some politicians, how they deal with power in this part of the world without checks and balances. Well, it's UWP, SLP, or Golden Dragons, People's National Party, whatever he calls it. You don't want any political party to win all 17 seats in St. Lucia. This ought not to happen. That's me speaking to the electorate. But the electorate is a democracy. You have a mind of your own. You can make your determination. Let's take a call right now at 452-2979. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages. 716-2026. 716-2026. Some of your messages. Somebody says they're via WhatsApp. Tim, as at that day when Dr. Kenny Anthony gave that speech, we had no murders. Immediately after, he recorded about 4 in 1 week. The first 2 on the chaussee opposite the insurance company, Guyana and Trinidad Mutual Insurance. It happened between 8 and 9 a.m. Tim, our Prime Minister still has it. Increasing transportation solves crimes. All governments have done this, doing the same thing and expecting different results. Shaking my head. Another WhatsApp message. Tim, you like a lot of Roro. There is no way SLP should win all 17 seats. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Hello, good afternoon, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm okay, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, I just listened to that clip that you played there from the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Philip J.P.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what magic that is he working, or what is it that they have with the electoral board, as you say, right?
Electoral.
That he will win all 17. Yeah, electoral.
Not the electrical.
All
it's
17.
Electoral. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know if he knows that, or what he knows that they know that they already tell him that he will win all 17 seats. But that is so good for Philip J.P. Tim, let me just share something that came into my attention this afternoon here in England. This afternoon, Tim, earlier this afternoon, well, it's going up to almost 6 o'clock anyway. Tim, I get a phone call from a good friend, a cousin of mine from Martinique. And he's saying, we there talking, he tell me that, did I watch the meeting that they have in Grenoble last night? I tell him, no, I did not watch it, and then we started talking and stuff like that. Politics as usual. Tim, the man telling me, he tell me that he saw that my mother was there. So when he said that to me, I said, no, I can't believe it, because Tim, you're not telling people who to vote for or pushing people telling them what to vote for. But Tim, I will tell St. Lucian, as a man here on a Thursday in England, on Cool Vibes Radio, everybody knows that I hold in a talk show here regarding politics. Everyone knows that I am a strong supporter of the United Workers' Party. Tim, what I want people to understand, Tim, when the man told me that my mother was, and I am aware that when my dad was alive, it was me, my dad, and my mom. And I know my other 2 sisters or whatever, Tim, they was always, supporting the Labour Party, honestly. But Tim, when I heard that and I seen my mother been following the UWP for such a long time, hear what I'm saying, I'm not telling people who to vote for. But Tim, to my attention and the way that I've been talking about politics here in England, criticizing what the Labour Party is doing wrong, whatever it is talking under the Prime Minister. Tim, the guy told me my mother was at the meeting last night in Grand Riviere. I'm talking about the meeting that they have in the Valley last night. So I said to the guy, hold on then, because Tim, it already blew me up away. Honestly, it blew me away because I cannot believe that my mother from Poleon will do such things like this. Tim, I call my mother. You know what my mother said to me when I started talking to my mother, Tim, and I'm saying that I can even mention, I have the right to mention my mother's name, Tim. Right? Because she's my mother. She had 3 kids with my dad. She had 5 kids. One of them this is about 6-7 years ago. My mother had 3 kids with my father, Lennox, who passed away in Poleon. You have me, Clendon, and Bonnie and Joanne. But Tim, I know it's a pushing thing that one of my older sisters back home, and I will say that, and I know they will come for me, Tim. pushing my mother right now there to go and support the Labour Party. And when I spoke to my mother said to me that she went to the meeting to see Sean Edward because Sean said to her that he will make her get her pension. Tim, what kind of nonsense is this? They don't see that is lack of buying people to vote for them, that pocketing people with money. If you want to get your pension, you have your daughter down there she's down there. You could easily tell her, help you out to take you to the Labour Department to find out how you go about to get your pension. Fair enough. So I want to send this message to Sean Edward now because he's the one, and I am aware that he have been pocketing my sister money to do such thing that was happening in development, you know, some kind of walls, landslide, help her out. And it come from a good source. And these people are strong Labour Party. But I'm going to put that to Sean Edward. In the time that my dad was alive in Montego, in Poleon, in Lawide, they call the Wavin Baker. Back, not this election gone, election before, when he came in to see, to fix up that, to do a footpath there, when he realized, he looked right at the back of my dad's house, the neighbor have a yellow flag. He never returned back there to fix up that house. My mother protests about that every day. Up to a day like today, the people in Lawide don't have a good road to go to, Tim. Right? And when my mother said that to me, you know what I said to my mother? It seems that you making me waste my time because Labour Party people, they have been swearing at you every day. When I do a talk show on a Thursday, Tim, they under this lady's skirt, texting me even in the weekday, Tim, I do a show on a Thursday. You know what somebody did to me, Tim? Somebody calling me as an individual, telling me that they need to speak to the management of Cool Vibes Radio. And I say, speaking. You know the person asking me to fire myself for me not to criticize the Labour Party of the wrong thing they're doing, Tim, right in England? And I tried to explain that to my mother, Tim. And my mother learned about that. Let's go back to 1997 in terms of election. Your older sister, her deceased husband, Marius, Tony Torrance, after they win election, the amount of stone they sent to a house. And we was all there as a victim of that. My father and Tony Torrance was two comrades. Godfather of my brother, Mackinson Croy. My father never support that. So I want to send this message out there. My mother have a right to vote for whoever she wants. But do not disrespect my knowledge because she's not hungry, she's not starving. And my two sisters, whoever the one here in England and the one in St. Lucia, what y'all doing, do it right. Because I call a brother of mine in America and I told him, he said to me, he cannot say nothing. Because Tim, let me tell you something. I know my mother, Tim. I raised up with my mother. I work hard with my mother. When I and my mother was working out on the banana plantation, my two sisters was never there to help. So Tim, that burned me out. You know why it burned me out? Because I knew and I know in time of Pharaoh Poleon was running as a candidate for the United Workers' Party. Tim, I want people to hear the truth. You see, the same time they was giving that card for you to go and see your doctor and to buy your medication. My father called me before he passed away and told me both he and my mother get one on the United Workers' Party, Pharaoh Poleon. What is it Sean have done for you to encourage my mother to move from where she is to go and vote for Labour Party? Tim, that will happen, you know. But Tim, I will talk about that on my show tomorrow, God willing, Tim. But I have to call to let you know what the Labour Party, what the MP is doing. Sean Edward, and for what you said that, no little boy cannot come and win you in the valley, you'll stay there forever. Sean, this is a promise, Sean. You ain't God. You just see something is happening in the valley that the people need change and they will vote you out. And I, Clendon Marcel, Cool Vibes Radio, send that message to you. Do not go to my mother's house. My father left. He died and leave a house there for my mother. Do not go in my mother's yard to ask her to vote for you, because I will get you face to face and I'll tell you as it is as an MP. Do not go there because you know me and you we have grudges. We have things going on. Over Emran Matthew, in one meeting I was going to Forest here, and when he met me at the Richford gas station with a yellow shirt on because I was buying some Heineken beers, when I call him as a cause, he looked at me and he's my cousin. And for the look that he gave me and the way that he treated me, my mother, let me tell you something. You're not ruling yourself even though you're a big woman because you have your kids. You don't need nobody in your life. Your kids can look after you. And if you do so, you are tarnishing my name for people going under your skirt every Thursday. So allow them to go on. If you want to go and vote for these hacks who insulting people, I can come better than that. But I'm just putting this one in. Sean, you need to stop this. And I let people know, the people of St. Lucia know that I am aware of what's going on.
But let me ask you.
Challenging me every day, Tim.
Let me ask you, Cole.
You understand, Tim?
How old is your mom? How old is your mom?
My mother is a 75-year-old woman. She have a right to do what she's doing.
So, exactly, God. She's an adult. She's an adult. She can make up her mind.
No, Tim. You cannot buy somebody. You cannot buy somebody that never support you. Not because You've been helping a daughter of us, which is an icon of the Labour Party. And when my father was alive, this thing was not happening.
Yeah, but
So
caller,
you know
your mother is not
Tim,
seen. All right, your mother is senile. She's suffering from dementia.
No, Tim, she's not senile. She's not senile, but people making her stupid.
No.
You cannot force somebody to go where she's not supposed to be going. She's walking on the wrong road, Tim. And
Caller,
she know the reason why she do that because my dad is not there.
Caller,
Tim, I know people saying that to me. And I hear what you're saying, you know, Tim. I understand that.
your mother is an
I
adult.
understand that.
She can vote
Of course,
for
Tim,
the United
she's-
Workers' Party
Tim,
or the SL Party,
Tim,
whichever candidate
Tim,
she wants to vote
Tim,
for.
Tim, listen to me. I understand that.
You're
But
being
you must
emotional.
not forget.
Uh-huh.
Tim, listen to that. I've been emotional, yes, because in the time of the health situation in St. Lucia, my mother don't pay for no medication, and the federal police was the one who helped them to get it. So why moving from one to another when you win better? Look at the nonsense these people is doing in St. Lucia right now. I know they will say it's stupid, you know, Tim. I know that because St. Lucian good at that to make a mockery of and say it's stupid. But I'm talking through facts. If you're giving me a bread every day, why would I not work for you? And if you help me to get what I get in and to make my life better, why would I leave you? In spite of hardship and pain, I'm supposed to stay with you. And that's what it is, Tim. Have a good afternoon, Tim.
You too, sir. Thank you so much. Somebody says in the chat room, Tim, that's the man's mother. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. 716-2026. I don't know if it's too early, but Amanda, can you tell me what's happening in the chat room in terms of the comments there, how people are conducting themselves? What are they saying? Amanda?
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, NewsSpinners. A few comments from the chat room, and NewsSpinner says, okay, that's it. I'm officially applying for Jeremiah's job. He's only now realized we have organized crime. He has been asleep on the job. Another commentator reads, enough with the talk, Jeremiah, people are dying. And NewsSpinner says here, why are these guys always coming and tell us what we already know and not providing actual problem solving? Just talk. Another commentary says, so-called crime prevention minister has yet to put in place a strategy to combat anything. Something says there, Minister Jerry has been busy trying to find Minister Tom. To say you're only realizing we have organized crime speaks volumes. I shake my head. A commentary reads, and I will never tire of saying it, Dr. Kenny Anthony should be made to provide the details regarding his statement on the facilitators of crime in St. Lucia. A NewsSpinner says their absolute power corrupts absolutely. Crime in St. Lucia goes deep into the pockets of those with power, and any attempt to stop their criminal network will be met with resistance. Case in point, Tyson, allegedly. Another commentary reads, this psychological game the SLP is playing is no joke. They repeat these lines of positive lines, hoping people will take them as truth without questioning, and sadly some do. A deliberate tactic to play on the minds of the gullible. Another commentary reads, winning all 17 seats, you need to fire your political advisors and strategists. They've drank too much Denros. Someone says their greed is what has the world upside down. And the NewsSpinner in the comment section here says, the SLP's prediction of winning 17-0 is not far-fetched. Nothing is impossible for me in this country. The mindset of our people leaves much to be desired at a time like now, when our people seems to be hungry. Anything is possible. I will maintain an open mind for the upcoming elections. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Somebody says via WhatsApp, let's keep a measure of cautious optimism. Things may not have been done in the last decade to prevent crime in St. Lucia, but we cannot say nothing will be done going forward, because if this is true, we would be done for good. St. Lucia lacks political leadership, good governance, and capable leaders. Crime must be dealt with by way of intervention. We must come together to fight it at all costs, organized or not. Raw petty politics is not the answer, and country must come before political party for us to make any progress. May God bless St. Lucia. Some more of your messages as we await your calls once again at 452-2979. Somebody says there via WhatsApp. Imagine at the age of 42, my mom coming to me and telling me I have... All right, so imagine at the age of 42, my mom coming to me and telling me I have a penis, so I'm a boy. Wow, that's like Jeremiah coming to tell us we have organized crime. Let's see if we have a call via WhatsApp. Do we have a call via WhatsApp? Let's see if we put this call on the air. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, Amanda.
Good afternoon, caller.
Mr. Tim, I want to make a point on a clip I was watching, the MP for Central Castries. He was talking about a dog was murdered, murdered dog. And the reason why I say that, I'm making a point on about Christmas that passed, Christmas last year. The MP was giving toys, children toys in his constituency. Okay, and he was at the back of a truck, but it was lit, kind of getting lit. And you could have heard him in that clip saying, "John, drive the truck, it's getting lit. John, drive the damn truck, it's getting lit." Now when I balance that, it's because of it's getting lit, and in the place they give him toy, he was kind of scared because he outside in a box truck. You know what I'm saying there? Now as an MP that have a licensed firearm, and you still scared for your life, you know, giving children toy. Because if you're telling the driver, drive is getting lit, that means you're scared. And we had a dog that discovering so many things, especially a dog discovered 17 firearms and 13,000 rounds of ammunition.
No, over 3,000, a little over 3,000.
Okay, sorry, 3,000. Yeah, I made a mistake. 3,000. Imagine, Mr. Tim, any community or any place or in your constituency have 17 guns and 3,000 rounds of ammunition. Each bullet is a life, you know. That's a lot of lives. And I find when the Prime Minister, okay, Mr. Pierre, in his office, the dog find that, he should have called on the Prime Minister of Martinique or the President, you call him, and say, if we could get another 2-3 dogs. Because that dog play a lot of role. And people just brush past in that as though it's nothing. My brother, that's a lot. And I see in Mr. Richard Frederick, he was a police officer, he was a lawyer, he was a minister. And my brother, I'm begging on you, please, at your age, you're a grown-up man. The world is watching you as an MP. You know what I mean? And you're making a mockery out of yourself by saying that, my brother, you have family outside. Even you have your bodyguards, you have your license firearm to protect you, but you have family outside there. You have people that support you, even they don't support you out in St. Lucia. You need to send some solid messages, okay, Mr. Frederick, instead of just making yourself look like you is a 9-year-old, not even a 9-year-old child who would react that way. Now, when people talking about a mother died with a baby when a baby is unborn is a dwarf. It's like a baby that's not born is a dwarf. Now, if that message going to Mr. Speaker of the House, Mr. Claudius Francis, and I've been saying that and I practice it and I'll be preaching it. When you is the Speaker of the House and you said midget or what, bazooka, my brother, not everybody that will think positive. Some people will just think negative on just based on what you say. You see what I'm telling you? And it bleeds in my heart when them fellas saying they want 17 seats, they want all 17 seats. Margie talk that there, my brother. We as Lucians, no matter who vote for you and who don't vote for you, we all under one umbrella. One umbrella we is. And when you hear them fellas just talking and talking and talking, and my people of St. Lucia, Labour Party is Lucian like us, United Workers Party is Lucian like us, they don't have no friends. We want government to govern the country so our children, look, so many children left school. What plan you hearing them fellas saying they're going to put on the table for children that live in school? Tell me, my brother. You know what I mean? Children live, and it's not 1,000 children that leave school. My brother, have a wonderful day.
You do, sir. Thank you so much for calling. Let's continue with your WhatsApp calls and your messages. Somebody says they're via WhatsApp. I team, I agree. 17-0 would not be good for the governance of the country. However, our system of government allows that. That's why we should move to republic similar to the U.S. Vote for one person rather than 17 individuals to run the country. Hopefully, this would be the republic we move to rather than what Barbados has done. The constituency reps should not be ministers. They should be in the community developing it. Some more of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there via WhatsApp. Didn't the DPP say that the impacts report was just information? Was the information proven to be true in a court? If so, can it be relied upon by Joe Public? And some more of your WhatsApp messages. Bribing the man's mother, typical of SLP, divide and rule politics. That's according to some of your WhatsApp messages. Let's see if we have a call on the landline. In the meantime, let me go through some of your messages. Jeremiah should know there was organized crime since when he was a cop. Shame on you, sir. And let's see some more of your WhatsApp messages. Just bear with me, trying to access as many of them as possible. But he says that, Tim, the young lady and baby who were murdered had a name. Already the foreigner who was found Rodney Bay is more important. Shaking my head. WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there via WhatsApp. Okay, let's see. Another one. Please bear with me, trying to access as many of those messages as possible. Somebody says this is indeed a poisonous mix, such that it PC Tyson 642 Canaan killed without any accountability. Actually, as opposed to dismantling the dangerous cabal of corrupt government officials, business people, and police, efforts are made to dismantle the state institutions and courts, destroying equipment and assets. Most shamefully, they are also destroying the moral fabric of the society by encouraging hatred and racism only for power and profit. Let's see if we have some more WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, what percentage of crime is organized or random in St. Lucia? And some more. Somebody says there, it is just an observation. It looks like every time there is a drug bust, it is accompanied by a spate of shootings. So it may very well be related to this organized crime that Dr. Kenny Anthony referred to in March of 2015. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, all the SLP government lives on is secrets. Crime secret, we still want to know what happened to Officer Tyson. We hope that this is not one such case that will be swept under the carpet, and with the excuse of probing, having various investigations, still waiting for the outcome of a post-mortem and things of that nature. We certainly would want to know what transpired and what resulted in the death of Officer 642 Tyson. Somebody says that, Tim, can Siobhan Matthew give an update on the cocaine bust in Poleon? And some more WhatsApp messages to go through. Okay, can go through this one. We have another WhatsApp message. At the time, Jeremiah Norbert would have been a police officer. Some more WhatsApp messages. Senator Jean revealed last night that she has a copy of the linguist report on Guy Joseph. Can she be forced to release that report since the government has refused to do so? And some more WhatsApp messages to go through. Okay, let's see there. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, our government just ain't ready to control the speed of crime in this country. Take Jamaica, for instance, with the level of crime it had up until when the Prime Minister came out boldly and said to the criminals that if they are caught with a firearm, they will get the same time as that of if you commit murder. Immediately, the crime rate has dropped drastically. The laws are there, but not implemented in St. Lucia. The criminals always get a slap on the wrist. We'll continue with more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages in just a moment. And still to come, what transpired in the House of Assembly recently involving the Prime Minister, the Leader of the Opposition, and the Speaker. This is the most monitored talk show in the world.
Carnival just got crunchier with KFC. It's time to fet, win, and feast with the Carnival Crunch Box. For just $30, get a Big Crunch or Zinger sandwich, 3 crunchy strips, a dipping sauce, regular fries, a 16-ounce soda, and a biscuit. But wait, that's not all. Every Carnival Crunch Box gives you a chance to win big. Promotion runs June 1st to July 20th. KFC, it's finger-licking good. you want.
Lazarus's funeral here for you. Lazarus's private cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's private cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's funeral home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidboutet at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilec kaveti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone ça là. Mi un petit commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire ou. Couiller Lucilec avant ou trim et bien couper pied bois qui pouet ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outils ou ka servi pas venir moins qui 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça c'était en commission hors Lucilec.
Your home is a reflection of who you are. So make it beautiful with MNC Home Depot.
Quality products at the best prices. Paint and plumbing to home appliances. Customer service, you can count on us. With experience, you can trust.
So if you need to build it, clean it, style it, paint it or fix it, chances are we got it. MNC Home Depot, better value for better homes.
MNC Home Depot, better value for better homes.
Visit us in store or shop online at mnchomedepot.com. MNC Home Depot, better value for better homes.
Flo's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like bonus data, prizes, and more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or launcher. Activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
At La Clinique de Corps, your health comes first with St. Lucia's only advanced 1.5 Tesla MRI, delivering safe, radiation-free imaging aligned with World Health Organization and international standards. Not sure if you need an MRI, CT, or ultrasound? Our expert in-house doctors guide you so you get the right scan the first time. One accurate scan can change everything. Your peace of mind starts here. Get $50 off all consultations with our doctors now through July 31st. We're UHC approved and accept all major insurances. Visit us in Castries or Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique de Corps. Advanced care, local access, your health reimagined.
Essie, don't tell me that tire flat again. I just changed that tire.
Wait, what? You just changed that tire?
Well, I bought a used one because you didn't give me enough money.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? Chivi's Tire Shop only carry brand new quality tires at affordable prices with free installation.
Hey, it seems you're working at Chivi's Tire Shop. How you know all that?
Come on, Brenda. The tire shop down the road from our home in the American Drywall Building.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Well, you know what, Patrick? Let's go there right now. Take your wallet. Let's go.
Chivi's Tire Shop, located at the American Drywall Building, Vidboutet. Call or WhatsApp 584-5986. Chivi's Tire Shop. Pay less, drive more.
At First National Bank, we believe being first means putting you first. Your first home, we've got the mortgage. Starting your first business, count on our commercial loans. Dreaming of your first car? Drive it home today. Heading to college? Let's fund that first big step with a student loan. No matter the milestone, make First National Bank your first choice for all your loan needs. First in service, first in trust, first for you. Call us at 455-7000 or visit your nearest First National Bank branch today so we can help put you first. First National Bank, here for you.
Had no savings, so the government had to borrow from the NIC to pay, and they had to borrow in large amounts. And the ECCB statistics will show that St. Lucia was the largest borrowing country after COVID.
Mr. Speaker, on a point of order. The members leading the House, the government never borrowed any money from NIC.
I didn't say borrow, I said the government used money from NIC to pay. They used it.
Mr. Speaker, the NIC board made a decision that it was going to distribute some of its money of people who've been making contributions from NIC. There's nowhere that the government borrowed the money, Mr. Speaker.
He didn't say you borrowed the money.
He did. That's what exactly he said.
Had no savings, so the government had to borrow from the NIC to pay, and they had to borrow in large amounts. And the ECCB statistics will show that St. Lucia was the largest borrowing country after COVID.
Mr. Speaker, on a point of order. The members leading the House, the government never borrowed any money from NIC.
I didn't say borrow, I said the government used money from NIC to pay. They used it.
Mr. Speaker, the NIC board made a decision that it was going to distribute some of its money of people who've been making contributions from NIC. There's nowhere that the government borrowed the money, Mr. Speaker.
He didn't say you borrowed the money.
He did. That's what exactly he said.
Had no savings, so the government had to borrow from the NIC to pay, and they had to borrow in large amounts. And the ECCB statistics will show that St. Lucia was the largest borrowing country after COVID.
Mr. Speaker, on a point of order. The members leading the House, the government never borrowed any money from NIC.
I didn't say borrow, I said the government used money from NIC to pay. They used it.
Mr. Speaker, the NIC board made a decision that it was going to distribute some of its money of people who've been making contributions from NIC. There's nowhere that the government borrowed the money, Mr. Speaker.
He didn't say you borrowed the money.
He did. That's what exactly he said.
A moment of levity. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It's called NewsSpin. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. 716-2026. A call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Good afternoon to Murphy Poleon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Murphy, just watch that in Parliament. That's so bold-faced. That's on the media. The ghetto youth seeing all them things. The bold-faced lie. The injustice, Gassa. You know, them things just air right now. When we talk about that, people go tell you about. That's how I put in right where right is, and I put in wrong where wrong is. Now, Jeremiah now. So you just know about now we have crime, organizing crime, eh? Now we know that. He was a policeman all along. But the fellas talking, you know why they're talking? The man for Grosley going for his pension. He already a rich man by going for his pension. Jeremiah going for his pension. That's what they're going for. As soon as they get the pension, they can't have nothing again. So right now they're climbing Go Piton. And they're going Go Piton there, and they're running. People are going up Go Piton. Sometimes the tour guide have to push you up or escort you. But them fellas is running. They're like Tarzan. But that's what they're going for, their pension. Have a good afternoon.
You too, sir. Thank you so much for calling. What's up in the chat room? Let me turn my attention to Amanda. An update.
A few comments from Elia Tim and NewsSpin says there, tell your mother eat the money and vote them out. Another comment here reads, not when your parents are lacking education and common sense. These are the persons the Labour Party preys on to get a vote. And NewsSpinner says there, so the Labours are doing things for people just to vote them, playing on people's poverty. Let the people vote honestly. Another comment here reads, in your mouth, Pierre, not even in your dreams, you will win all 17 seats because Miku South is ready to put it on Labour, so take these words back. Someone says there, Jeremiah is doing things in small steps. Another comment here reads, Caricom adopted the Montego Bay Declaration on Transnational Organized Crime and Gangs, underscoring our united stance against criminal networks. A NewsSpinner says there in America, a police dog was killed and there is a criminal investigation underway. And bet your last dollar whoever is responsible will face jail time. Another commentator says, we owe it to ourselves and for accountability in campaigning when these politicians mix all of these promises in exchange for your votes. Please record them with your phone. Another commentator reads, that man just said something and denies he did. That man needs a mental assessment. And someone says here, you hear lie, that is lie. Another commentator reads, both P and the Speaker of the House speak untruths. Someone says if that was too funny, he said borrow. Why not ask to read over what was said? The Prime Minister is losing his mind. Another commentator reads, is PJP losing it? He said borrowed twice and the Speaker is supporting him in his lie. And no other member is saying that was what he said, but instead they are laughing. So, someone says there, wow, birds of a feather lie together and the other clowns are laughing. NewsSpinner says here, Kenny bowed his head in shame after this. Another commentator reads, that's not a mistake on the part of the Prime Minister and Speaker. That's all part of the plan abusing people's mind. Someone said there he should be very, very careful from now on because everybody has their eyes on him now because of his tongue. And NewsSpinner says there you also want to laugh and make Shas look foolish, but you'll end up looking like the biggest. Okay, we can't read that. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Let's take a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Yes, Tim, we lose the station, you know. Something wrong. Something went wrong. We lose the station. We're not hearing you.
Okay, thank you so much. But you can tune in to Facebook or YouTube. All right, we'll try to work it out. And maybe we are off 97.9 FM. I don't know. We'll try to rectify it if that is the case. But we are also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the NewsSpin YouTube channel. All right, let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. A biased government, especially the Speaker, what example are they setting for our young people? Some more of your messages. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, till my mind is made up, I vote for country, not party. The Prime Minister said borrowed, and within seconds he was boldly, verbally dishonest. Was thus a joke. How can someone like this lead the country in the right direction? And let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there, Tim, who are you blaming for that borrowing statement? The Speaker is to be blamed. I did not blame anyone. I played the clip, allow you to judge, and I also said it is a moment of levity, something to laugh at, entertainment. All right, let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says that, Tim, why was Prime Minister Philip J.P. not at Caricom heads in Jamaica? Did he provide a reason why? Yes, he spoke yesterday during the Town Hall Tuesday. He said he would much prefer to be with the people of St. Lucia, much prefer to be with the MP for Dennery North, Mr. Sean Edward, and to be with the people of Dennery and by extension the people of St. Lucia. That's why he did not attend the Caricom Summit. Let's see if we have some more of your messages. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, if the SLP is so confident that they will win all 17 seats, why wait until next year to call elections? They should call the elections this year. The Prime Minister, as far as the Constitution is concerned, has that right. Let's see there if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. 4522979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. All right, let's see there. Trying to access a call. Let's see, via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Tim and Amanda.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, caller.
Hi, Tim. Tim, I feel like touching the bell rose when I get you after calling so many times. I'm ready to do cartwheels.
Yeah, today's your lucky day, sir.
I know it is, yes. Tim, I sometimes when Mr. Bermuda called the SLP government Mongoose Gang Jumbie government, I laugh and I think he's ridiculing them. But after what I saw there with the speaker and the prime minister, within seconds of saying something, saying you never said that, it just reminds us how much the prime minister lies all the time. And he lies for no reason. We all heard it, and within seconds, saying you never said that. And then the speaker...
You think it's lying, or is a lapse in judgment, or he forgot what he said, maybe?
So many times. This is not the first time or the second time or the third time or the fourth time, And even if the prime minister did, it's the speaker's business to tell him, remember, or at the very least have them replay the tape or reread the transcript or whatever it is, because he just said it, know.
Hansard is there.
Here's the ironic thing. The ironic thing is, and excuse the echo, I'm at a conference and I came on the stairs to call you.
Yeah.
The ironic thing is, normally the members of parliament, if it was the leader of the opposition who had said something wrong, they would all jump up and correct it. But this time they sat there and they let the lie happen. This is the people, our people elected to be in office to represent them. And knowingly, we all sat there looking at the screen, hearing it, and none of them spoke up. And that tells you that whatever the SLP does, good or bad, they will go down with it. But I wanted to make another point quickly, since I got through. We talk about security, and I think the SLP is forgetting, and we need to remind them, that the first responsibility of a government, of any government, the very idea of government, is as protector. If you ever watch the TV show Game of Thrones, you may have noticed that the central tenet of the show was the entire reason for each house, each kingdom fighting was protector of the realm. You might have remembered that, protector of the realm against enemies, foreign and domestic. You have to protect people internally and externally. That is the first order of business, the security of the country. And politics 101, social studies, whatever you take, the basic thing they teach you is, if you don't have security, you don't have a country governed internally and externally. And we need to see them putting more emphasis on the security and the crime situation in the country. The security of the country to them is a joke. Now, without security, the people are scared. People live in fear. I remember, after having been out for the longest I stayed out was 3 years at the time, and then I saw the wires on my parents' house, and I slept in my room with my windows open, cracked, whatever, and I sat there looking at the barbed wire, the wrought iron, and it took me a while to fall asleep. I'm like, this is a symptom not of what's happening at my parents' house. This is a symptom of what's happening in the country, And young people now don't know the freedoms we had to roam across the country, go where we want, midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, we come from parties or whatever, no transport, we walk up any hill, any distance, from Castries to Bexon to the Mon, anywhere we wanted, and nobody bothered us. If anything, somebody will pass and give us a ride, And what happens? We have a few measures taken for security of the country, like a dog, the security scanner at the port, and that is destroyed or the dog is killed. And nobody comes and tells us what measures are being taken to address this situation, because people should be scared. If they kill the dog, and I saw the minister, a minister in Parliament making fun of them killing the dog. And when that happened, the question that came to mind was, why would a minister go to Parliament and laugh and celebrate the death of the dog? As a critical thinker, anybody who thinks critically would ask themselves, is the minister have anything to benefit from the dog being dead? Why would he laugh at that? Is he involved in anything? Does he know anything about the drugs and the guns and stuff like that?
I think what happened is that somebody made reference to the dog being murdered. And the literature says that animals are not murdered. They're tortured and they're killed, etc., but not murdered. So human beings are murdered. And I think that is along the lines that he was making fun of the whole situation. But it was not, he shouldn't have done it at all. It was very inappropriate.
It is very inappropriate, especially a security measure for the country. And I hear people use terms as unalive and murdered and stuff. It's all semantics. Dead is dead, murdered is murdered. If you didn't die for a natural act, you're murdered. I mean, you look at the government. What has they given us so far? a collapse in journalism. Very few people left, like yourself, and probably Rick Wayne calls occasionally. A handful of people might do some journalism in the country. It's totally collapsed. The courts are failing us. Our institutions have been politicized to the point that, and paralyzed, even the courts, they no longer serve us. It's a bidding of who's in office or who knows who. The National Trust has gone silent. The Chamber of Commerce. If UWP is elected tomorrow, they'll all find their voices. Every association, every institution that is to be vocal in the country, they are mute. Our police is overwhelmingly demoralized and have too much political interference in them. They have too much on their hands. Customs don't know what to do because everything they give, they're too many right. I mean, the country is just rife with everything that's wrong, and we need a reset. We need to take our country back and fix it. St. Lucia could be so much better than it is right now. And people need to stop letting the SLP piss in their eyes and call it rain, because they do all these little handouts over here and handouts over there and tell people to vote for them. We need a national development plan. No country that has developed, if you read the history of the development of Australia, of Singapore, of Norway, of Sweden, it's not handouts. It's deliberate policies to get the whole country, not just your friends and family, a whole country on the track for development that uplifts the country. And people need to vote for a party that'll do that. And I know I'm taking a lot of your time, but I need to tell the UWP voters, I talked to a couple of them who, they said, oh, they're not voting for this and they're not voting for that. Let me speak to the UWP supporters and tell them, you only gain power in St. Lucia and have influence one way, by getting more votes than your opponent. Your party has to get more votes than the other party for you to get into power. When your party gains that, then it can exercise that power for your betterment. The history of St. Lucia has shown us that if you take everything into account, it has been the UWP that has done the most for St. Lucia. And I wouldn't bore you with the details, but at every turn, whether it's development, building, causeway, school, Pigeon Island Causeway, tunnels, Uranura Airport, independence, bananas, UWP has a better record of economic development in St. Lucia. We were on a better path until George Odlum came into the picture, and I was a student of his for a time. Our youth group belonged to him at the time, and he entered the body politic of St. Lucia and he demolished what we were building. And there's a saying a friend of mine likes to say, Odlum came in and killed St. Lucia, started killing St. Lucia, Kenny finished it, and now Pierre is burying it. The UWP supporters have to know that no political party is perfect, nor will they ever be. By design, they are not supposed to be. There will be ups and downs and disagreements and everything else. But history has shown the UWP is a better party for St. Lucia, and that doesn't matter what number you take. That's the only vehicle we have to get back in there and fix things. So they need to stop. Some of them put in a purity test on the party. They want everybody to be perfect. They want 100% alignment or perfection. They want what they want. They want their person to be this. You cannot want everything. And the SLP supporters understand that. They could give them a job or sack, they're voting for it, because they know there's one to change things and get what you want is to get into power. And right now, given what St. Lucia is, we need steady hands. We need a continuation of the dream John Compton started. We need some of what he's given us. And the UWP is the way to get it. Alan Shastney is not perfect. He's human. I can call him right now and tell him a few things I don't like about him and a few things I think he should fix. That goes for everybody. We find things we don't like about anybody, even the people we are friendly to, married to, whatever. But this is not about perfection. This is about who's best able to carry the legacy Sir John left behind and develop St. Lucia. I talk to people who want to come home. They have land. They want to build. They say, well, we need security first to make sure we'll not be murdered in our own homes. And secondly, we need to know, even if we have medical insurance in Miami, in Toronto, in London, wherever, but we need to be stabilized first before we can be flown off. We need to make sure we can, as we get older, we can get medical attention. Who can bring this in? Who has the record of doing that? If Mr. Pierre said that UWP is a party with the best plans, he forget to say that they also have the best implementation plans. And a few more seconds, I heard Albert Baptiste boasting about inflation being at 0.41%. He painted half a picture. He should know that the lowest inflation St. Lucia has ever had was minus 3.09% under the UWP. In 2020, that was 7.5 times lower than what he's boasting about right now. In 2020, just before COVID, under Alan Shastney, inflation was minus 1.76%, something the SLP has never gotten. That's 4 times lower than Alva is boasting about. The highest inflation St. Lucia ever had was 21.45% under an SLP government. And he forget to say that the projection is that it's going to start going up from next year until 2030 to 2.41%. Again, the numbers show that even on every matrix you look at, if you're a thinking person, if you're honest, for the development of St. Lucia, all the numbers, inflation, economic development, growth, they're all better under UWP. St. Lucians need to understand that and make the right decision. Thank you, Tim.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. This is the most monitored talk show in the world, where we continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. We could find out what's happening in the chat room and turn our attention to Amanda. But let's take this call. Hold on, Amanda. We'll be with you in just a moment. This is NewsSpin. Good afternoon. You are on the air.
Tim, yeah, good afternoon.
Yes,
Tim,
sir.
just your last caller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he may have said some agreement with one thing, and a lot of solutions will be in disagreement to it. I just want him to know that George Odlum didn't kill St. Lucia. George Odlum opened our minds. That's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you so much. Amanda, your turn now. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room.
A few comments from the chat room. Tim and NewsSpin says there, indeed a moment of levity, but on a more serious note, is this prime minister for real? Anyways, a country likes a government, they deserve. Poor job, St. Lucia. A commentary reads, that's what SLP trying to do us, confuse us with their lies, just like PJB tried doing in the House. And NewsSpinner says there, Mr. Speaker, your position should be one of unbiased decisions, but clearly your allegiance to your party shows. Another commentary reads, scholar, that's how this administration operates, protect the lies and propaganda. Someone says there, is Sean Edwards' seat in trouble? Just thinking whether this is the reason the Prime Minister did not attend the Caricom meeting. Well, one cannot take this Prime Minister seriously because he says one thing now and within seconds he lies bold-facedly. Another commentary reads, no, they want to finish St. Jude first, then he will come beat his chest and brag, then his confidence of winning his 17 seats. This is how he protects the victory. A NewsSpinner says there, I'm not blaming the Prime Minister, the Speaker of the House is the problem. How can someone who is supposed to be mutual is so one-sided only in St. Lucia? Another commentary says, we owe it to ourselves and for... Okay, I read that already. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages to go through. Lots of them. And in just a bit, we'll be continuing with your call, so please bear with me. Via WhatsApp, what's somebody saying there? Somebody comments and says, the campaigning is in every sector. There is a particular herbal doctor in the south who tries to manipulate those who go to visit him. Tim spends 10 minutes asking about your condition and 40 minutes trying to persuade you to vote the St. Lucia Labour Party. And what is worse is he gets really agitated if you insist on voting for the United Workers' Party. I'm not going there anymore. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, Kenny, and Tony lowered his head on the desk in shame. Check out the video closely. And another one, somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, Joe Biden don't forget so quickly. PJP will put St. Lucia in trouble and he will not remember how to get us out. Soon he will say he never said he will win all 17 seats. Okay, let's see there via WhatsApp if we have another message there. Somebody says there via WhatsApp. There was an article yesterday in the USA stating all green card holders must pay 1% tax of the money sent to their families via Western Union to the country. This is part of the U.S. administration Big Beautiful Bill. This will affect many St. Lucians who are green card holders and not citizens. My heart bleeds. What is the Prime Minister saying about this? And let's see there if we have another WhatsApp message. Okay, let's take a call. So Rick is on the line. Good afternoon to you, so Rick.
I hope it's a real McCoy, Tim.
It is.
Tim, What you presented there a while ago as a moment of levity.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was funny at all. I think it was more proof that this speaker has no intention whatsoever of treating the opposition with the smallest even-handedness. And I say this, here's why I say this. It is possible, Tim, in a heated debate, that one side can use a word inadvertently, and when it's brought to his notice, for him to say, I didn't use the word. It's possible. But when you have the speaker making himself part of the debate, because that's what he did, right?
Yes.
The debate was whether or not the Prime Minister said you borrowed from the NIC. To join in that is to be part of the debate, and that's not the Speaker's job. But that is the Speaker who has told us where he stands on the matter of his job. No more Mr. Nice Guy. It's his party or everything. Bazooka, the whole works. The Speaker could easily have said, when the Prime Minister said, I didn't say that, I said used, etc. Easily have said, go back over, call on the Secretary to see exactly what the Prime Minister said. You know.
And to check Hansard.
The person taking the notes.
Yeah.
Right there. It could have taken 2 seconds. He did not have to involve in the debate, which made him either stupid or he was asleep or he was, like he said, protecting the victory, his party. And there was the proof of it, because he could easily have called on the Parliamentary Secretary, or whatever they call them, to validate what, in fact, the Prime Minister had said. Because the Prime Minister himself said to the PM, I said use, which means he didn't mean to say, I'm going to give him the benefit. He didn't mean to say he had borrowed. He said what I said was used. And Alan said correctly, no, you didn't say use. You said borrow. So easy for the Speaker to say, let's check the record. What do they use now? They still typing or they have digital?
I suspect they have digital.
And I'm sure they would have a voice thing by now.
And plus, I think they also record it as well.
Exactly. 2 seconds it would have taken to validate that. But he must participate in the debate. When you listen to the House, the Speaker of that House does not moderate you. He offers his side of it, or who said what, and tries to correct people. He even went downstairs some weeks ago to get documents, remember that?
Yes.
To prove a point. And we laugh at that, but that is only another bit of proof that this Speaker does not have even-handedness on his mind, and is concerned, as he put it, with protecting his party. His party is everything. And I said before, after he made those statements back then, he should have been required to resign. Because nobody in his right mind could possibly believe when he makes his decisions, they are based on anything but partisan thinking. Okay, that's one. Now, you wonder, more evidence again, why those meetings usually end up in chaos. I don't know where Alan Chasney gets the guts to stand there, although I think he's lazy in my own thinking, because I certainly would not be walking out. I'd be taking them on and let them do the illegal, because to defend what's wrong, you must go illegal. So even if you risk being thrown out of the House, there are things you can do about that. Because there is a determination, not necessarily by the MPs, but by the Speaker, to make life impossible for the opposition. And he has said that. I can't stress that strongly enough. Tim, also, you said you played a tape of Kenny Anthony at the time of impacts, saying that the reports said that the people behind the crime, I'm paraphrasing.
The crime problem is
corrupt politicians, government
officials, business persons, and police officers.
Yeah. Okay. That was what year?
In 2015. Yeah. March 8th, 2015.
Would you believe this statement was made by a minister? And, well, I will just read the statement. That the people behind the crime of the day were police officers, business people, and other people. Would you believe that statement was made in the presence, I call a name, Herman Francis and Broughton, remember the British commissioner?
Yes.
They were both at a meeting, at a press conference, when that statement was made. And that statement was made, Tim, and I repeat, the people behind the crime are corrupt police officers, business people, and others. So the only difference there was politicians. That statement, that latter statement, was made in 2007, 8 years before Kenny Anthony's report said exactly that. Now, what do you make of that?
And that statement was made by which government minister?
I will let you guess. Take one guess.
The Prime Minister, the then Prime Minister, Kenny Anthony?
No. It was a minister who was launching a football program against crime.
That would have been who? Richard Frederick?
None other. In the presence of Herman Francis and Broughton and people like Robertson Henry and a lot of other reporters. Mm-hmm. And I didn't write the story. It's in the Star of 11th October 2007. But it gives you food for thought that the words are almost identical. That the crime in the country that was facilitated by corrupt police officers, businessmen, and other persons.
That's,
for thought?
Yeah, very much so.
So if it was not investigated then, and as a matter of fact, we did ask Broughton, did he know about it? And the answer he gave us, the answer is in the Star as well, that he expected the minister, he heard the minister, but for him to take him seriously, the minister must come to his office. More bullshit. So even when you have the English officers, they are in the same game, Tim. If the people will not stand up and demand that their country is properly run, it doesn't matter who they put in charge of it. It doesn't matter the color of the commissioner. It doesn't matter the color of the minister. Weirdos are weirdos. Lawless is lawless. Fool the people is fool the people. And it's practiced by all colors. So, 8 years before the impacts report, there it was right there, said at the launching, what was it called? The football thing, what was it called?
Peace and Love or whatever it was.
Peace and Love.
Yeah.
Peace and Love. At that launching, that statement is made in greater detail, by the way, a lot more detail than that. Nothing happened. There was no investigation. And it went on to what led to impacts. And at the time of impacts, lo and behold, Kenny Anthony comes up with something that's supposed to be so new, we know that we didn't know about it, we didn't know about organized crime, we didn't know we had a crooked police force, and all of those things. This is what we keep taking. So 8 years later. So before Kenny, there was that. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Rick. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. It is on the NewsSpin Facebook page, as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel and Power 97.9 FM. Still to come, we have the NewsSpin question of the day and the NewsSpin news of the day.
Mark your calendars for July 30th and 31st. It's 2 days of sizzling savings you don't want to miss. Cashier Day is coming to Europa Hardware. Get 15% off all your favorite cashier gear. Wet and dry vacuum cleaners, powerful pressure washers, gas or electric, upholstery cleaners and steam cleaners that make grime run for cover. Swing by Europa Hardware and score 15% discount during the Cashier Day promotion. Remember, it's July 30th and 31st. Write it down, set a reminder, tell a friend to tell a friend. Don't wait, don't miss out. Call us at 452-0763. Europa Hardware in Massad Grosley. We service what we sell.
Prepare for the hurricane season by ensuring trees and other objects on your property won't get tangled in overhead wires. Be careful. Ensure ladders and tools don't come within 10 feet of power lines. If a tree is near electrical lines, don't try to trim it yourself. Contact Lucia at 452-2165 or 454-6617. Be smart, stay safe.
Tired of sky-high bills and a planet on the brink? It's time to go green without burning your pockets. At First National Bank, we are here to make saving the planet affordable. Whether you're installing solar panels, purchasing a water tank, upgrading to an inverter AC, or buying a hybrid vehicle, we've got the green to help you go green. Fast approval, low interest rates, and Mother Nature approved. Your future self will thank you. Visit firstnationalbankonline.com or call 455-7000 for more information to help you turn your green dreams into clean realities. First National Bank, here for you.
Whoa. It's in the feeling in our weak side. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong, no matter what we keep things flowing. We people, we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky, celebrating. Come let your rhythm flow.
Carnival just got crunchier with KFC. It's time to fat, win, and feast with the Carnival Crunch Box. For just $30, get a big crunch or zinger sandwich, 3 crunchy strips, a dipping sauce, regular fries, a 16-ounce soda, and a biscuit. But wait! That's not all. Every Carnival Crunch Box gives you a chance to win big. Promotion runs June 1st to July 20th. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Do whatever that crunch you want. Good spirit. I drink in a good
St.
spirit.
Lucia, are you ready for the ultimate all-inclusive?
Chalet Blanc, the all-white event. Tier 1 now available at Frontline Ticketing, Eventbrite, Digicel Baywalk Mall, 4 Circles Ticketing, or WhatsApp at 240-344-8629. A musical journey curated by the best local and international DJs. St. Lucia Carnival Saturday, July 19th, 1 p.m. to 8 p.m.
At Sanders Golf and Country Club, Kappa State.
Look something to talk about.
Unlimited drinks, brunch buffet, top-class entertainment.
Stay tuned. This event is powered by One Golden Fox and Natalie Events.
At La Clinique de Corps, your health comes first with St. Lucia's only advanced 1.5 Tesla MRI, delivering safe, radiation-free imaging aligned with World Health Organization and international standards. Not sure if you need an MRI, CT, or ultrasound? Our expert in-house doctors guide you so you get the right scan the first time. One accurate scan can change everything. Your peace of mind starts here. Get $50 off all consultations with our doctors now through July 31st. We're UHC approved and accept all major insurances. Visit us in Castries or Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique de Corps. Advanced care, local access, your health reimagined.
It's time to paint and save at MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt. Get 20% off on all Berger Everflow and Magic Coat paint during our big carnival season paint sale. whether you're refreshing one room or painting the whole house. Now's the perfect time to add that pop of color. But hurry, the Brush and Save sale is only here for a limited time.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Let's take a final update from you, Amanda, regarding what is happening in the chat room.
A few comments from earlier. Tim and NewsSpin says, this is really embarrassing from the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. PJP knows how to play the dirty game. And another comment here reads, on a serious note, if the person is not qualified for a pension, how on earth the MP can make that happen? And NewsSpinner says, this is so true, Rick. This is no moment of levity. It is a lack of integrity and honesty on the part of the Speaker, the Prime Minister, and all the other members. Another comment here reads, while our Prime Minister blatantly lies in the House, egregiously supported by the Speaker, not a single word is spared for the daughters of our country whose blood waters this land. Alicia Hunt murdered, Tristan Francis released, Troy at St. Martin, still no justice. A young student from Labrie assaulted just 2 Sundays ago. No arrest, no urgency, no shame. How many more before they care? Shame on this government, shame on the silence. And someone says, Tim, you remember when the British Police Commissioner and his team were getting into some serious investigation that water was poured on their computers? And that's it for now, Tim.
Thank you so much. And we take a look at our question of the day, the NewsSpin question of the day. It reads, is Philip J. Pierre arguably the best performing Prime Minister in the Caribbean according to Minister Sean Edward? Is Philip J. Pierre arguably the best performing Prime Minister in the Caribbean according to Minister Sean Edward? And this is the statement that Mr. Sean Edward made last evening during the SLP's Town Hall Tuesday.
The Honorable Philip J. Pierre, this is the best person to be Prime Minister in St. Lucia today. And I will go further to tell you that the Honorable Philip J. Pierre is arguably the best performing Prime Minister anywhere in the Caribbean today.
Education Minister and MP for Dennery North, Sean Edward, speaking yesterday during the SLP's Town Hall Tuesday. Finally, the NewsSpin news of the day. The NewsSpin news of the day reads, Earth is set to spin a bit faster in the coming months, leading to slightly shorter days, according to scientists. Earth is set to spin a bit faster in the coming months, leading to slightly shorter days, according to scientists. The NewsSpin news of the day, and that's a broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. Join me this evening, 7 o'clock in the first instance, for the DBS News World, and 8:30, Newsmaker Live. See you then. Bye-bye.